Hey everybody, Patty Ann here again today. Hey, I'm pretty excited about today. I am doing something from the same Etsy shop that I had used the other day when I did the stacked embroidered fonts. I saw so many cute things on this Etsy shop. I'll have it linked for you down below if you want to get this same thing that I've worked on today and that I'll be showing you in the video. I think this is super cute, especially at Easter time. What a cute little Easter gift this would be, because you know, the lamb is so important to Christians at Easter time. So this would be a super duper gift to make. And it's so cute. It could be a key fob, or a kid could hang it from their book bag, whatever you'd like. But I just think it's really cute. Now, I'm going to show you a trick that I used in Embrilliance Essentials to be able to cut out 2 of these on the sheets that you get when you purchase the faux leather or the fake leather. I'm going to show you that in Embrilliance. I'm also going to show you how to put these little snaps on it, and that's what I have right here, so that I can snap on and off this little key fob if I'd like. But I just think it's so adorable because of the fuzziness of it. Isn't that cute? I love it. I was so excited to find it. I had to share it with you guys. Again, I'll have it linked down below. I'm not affiliated with this person. I don't know her at all. I think it's a her. But I love her stuff. The stuff. So let's go down to my computer software, and I'll show you first what I do in Brilliance to make myself be able to have, out of one of those sheets of pleather, to be able to actually do 2 key fobs, right? I need the front, the white, and the pink for the back. So let's go on and get busy. Okay, here we are in Embrilliance, and I actually have Essentials and Stitch Artist Level 1. The only reason why I had Stitch Artist Level 1 was I wanted to be able to bring in the images of what my little guy is going to look like. This is one that was provided by the person who digitized this, and this is the one that I've already created myself. And the way I was able to bring them in with Stitch Artist Level 1 was just come up here to the Create menu. And when you're in the Create menu, if you look over here, you'll see the word Image here. And when you click on that, that allows you to bring in an image. You won't see that if you don't have Stitch Artist Level 1. Also, if you do have Stitch Artist Level 1 and you want to hide the image, right here is the button that you use to show or hide the images, just like that. So like I said, you don't need Stitch Artist Level 1 to do this. You're just going to use Embrilliance Essentials, and what I said I did was I added this basting box, and it was very helpful. So I'm going to show you how to add the basting box. So let's get a new page, or let's open a new page, and we're going to go to File, Merge Stitch File. And I'm never crazy about this little thing that shows up, but I'll make do. So it's in my downloads. Okay, it's called Sheep something. Sheep. Here it is, Sheep K. So I can open that folder up. And this is the DST file, which I don't want. I want the PES file. PES. So I'm going to double click on that to open it. All right, there it is, just like that. Isn't it adorable? Let's just open this object panel up for a second and see the objects that are in it and run the Stitch Simulator just for fun. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to do the legs and the face. Okay, and then it goes on to the hairy body, the wool. And of course they show it in blue, but you can make it any color you want. And then comes his feet. And then before you do the last stitch, there's something important I need to show you to do, so stay tuned. Also, remember now I said I wanted to go ahead and add the basting box to this, and that's really easy to do. But after I add the basting box, please stay with me because you're going to watch me stitch it out. Watch what do you do to get all that fuzziness on the front of him. There's certain stitches you have to cut on the back side of the design, so I'll show you that. So let's go first and put on the basting box, because to me that's very important. All I did was come up here to Utility and Base Design. That's it. So now if you look at the Stitch Simulator, the first thing we have is the basting box, which is perfect because that's going to show me exactly where I want to put my faux leather so that everything will fit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to this basting box and I'm going to duplicate it. So I'm going to go to, I can come up here actually to copy and then paste, and there it's duplicated another one. I don't want it at the end though, I want it first. So I'm going to click on this and right click on it and say move first. Okay, so now we have a basting box and then another basting box. And the reason why I want two is the first one's going to show me where to put my pleather or my leather, faux leather. The second one is going to base that leather into place so it doesn't move. Now they're both the same color. Since they're both the same color, my machine won't stop. It will just, my embroidery machine, it'll do once and then the second time. And I want it to stop in between. So after it does the first basting box, I'll know where to put my fabric or my pleather. And then the second, I need it to stop then so I can put it there. And then the second one's going to base that into place. So I'm going to make this a different color, which will make it stop. So I can choose any color I want. I could choose any one of these colors too. I could choose, or I could go to threads and choose a totally different color, orange. Okay. So now it is going to do first this basting box. It'll stop. Allow me to put down the fabric or the pleather or the leather, and then it's going to baste around it, and then it will start. So the next thing you need to know is I used tearaway stabilizer, and I'm putting that in my 4x4 hoop. Okay, as you can see, I already have my tearaway stabilizer here in place, and I'm going to be stitching my placement stitch. Notice I'm just using a PE 770. It works perfect for a project like this. As you know, you've seen I have other machines that are much bigger, but I really like using this little baby sometimes. A lot of you may have the PE 800, which is a step up from this one because you get a nicer display here, but this one still works for me. So I'm going to go ahead and with black, just so I can see it easily, I'm going to do my placement stitch. Okay, and when my placement stitch is complete, I'll show you the beauty of having this. Here's my placement stitch, and now I'll know exactly where to put this piece of leather so it will fit over that perfectly. And remember, I was able to only do this because I used the placement stitch the other time. I think I'll put it this way. I could, if I'd like to, and if I'm worried, I could spray this with a little bit of the 404, you know, the adhesive, the temporary adhesive spray, but I think it's going to stay in place just perfectly for me like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do this second placement stitch. Remember that one that we had put onto into our design while we were working in Essentials. So now it's going to do the second one. And I really shouldn't hold it with my fingers. If I'd like, I can use the back of my Cricut tool. But you see how I'm able to get the most out of this? Because I did the placement stitch. Okay, so I'm going to clip that off. Alright, so the next thing we're going to be doing is the body. So I'm going to take this out. Now the proper way to take your thread out, as you know, is to clip it here and then pull it this way. That's the proper way to do it. So I'm going to take off the black, and now I'm going to add the tan that I used for the body. I like to use Floriani thread. I don't know that it's any better or worse than any other kind. It's just the type of thread that I used to be able to purchase when I worked at a local quilt shop, and we did a lot of embroidery there. Okay, so I'm going to thread this needle, or the legs, I should say, and the face. So let's go ahead and, whoops, I got to put the presser foot down first and then do it. I really think that this turned out cute. I hope some of you are going to make it as well. And if you're on the Facebook group, post yours. Did you use different colors? Like I was thinking of maybe using a purple back here, like a royal purple color. But I just think it's so cute. So it's doing the feet. And then it's going to move on up and do the face and the little ears. After it's done doing those, I will go ahead and trim any jump stitches. Remember, this machine does not trim jump stitches. I must have this on an awfully wiggly table because I see the machine jiggling. Hopefully it's not making you seasick. You know, I like this. So many of you are starting to ask questions in the YouTube or sending me emails with questions. Remember, you can send questions to team, like a baseball team, PattyAnn@gmail.com. We get those, we look at all the questions, and if it's something that we can answer or I can do a video on, that's terrific, and I really appreciate your sending things. So it's just going to finish up the little ear, and then I'm going to change to the white, which will be what makes the fuzziness in a little bit. This is really a fun thing to stitch out, and I think it's super cute. Okay, so as I said, now I'm going to do the cut the jump stitches. Raise the presser foot, take this out, and then I'm going to go ahead and just trim these jump stitches so they're not in the way. It's easier to do it if you have two hands, but that's pretty good. So hopefully you can see what it's stitched so far. 4 little legs at the body, and I mean the face and the ears. And now it's the time for the white, which will be the fuzzy stuff, and I'm going to show you how to make it fuzzy in a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and change the thread, and I'll stitch all the white, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, I went ahead and finished the little lamb. I did do the black for the eyes and the nose and the feet. So now what it's time to do before you do the very last step, which is putting on the other side, is you're going to turn this over and you're going to start trimming these stitches. Now the easiest way I've found to do it is using my seam ripper. So for my seam ripper now, these long stitches right here, and it's probably not too easy for you to see, but I'm just going to go in here and start cutting them. And it might be better if I start in the center and work my way out. So let me see if I can put this down. But you can see these long stitches right here, and these are what I'm tearing out on the back. I'm just cutting them with my seam ripper, making sure I'm not going through the front, but I'm just going to keep going through here and cutting these long bits with my seam ripper. And you really want to make sure that you get it all. Otherwise, your little guy might have a bald area. So that's all you do. Use a seam ripper is what I found to be the easiest. See how I'm getting under there? Can you see that? Probably not. Getting right in there and just cutting those stitches. Just getting right in here, zipping along under these stitches. Where are you? And cutting, whoa, cutting them. Again, just be careful not to cut all the way through. You really have to keep looking so you don't miss sections, because you don't want to have little bald spots, as I said. And I think I'll continue doing this off the camera, but I will also, by the way, I'll also do it up here on the head. Same thing, cutting right through those stitches. Right through. And what you're cutting is actually the bobbin thread. That's what I'm cutting, the bobbin thread. And I can kind of show you what it's going to do on the front, but you don't want to do what I did on my first one. Let's see. Oh, wish I could see what I was looking at. See what you were looking at. Okay, so what you're going to do is keep going through here, and you don't want to cut all the way through, as I said. And you don't want to do what I'm going to show you right now, but this is eventually what you're going to do at the very end. You're going to go like this to these sections that you already snipped. And when you go like this, maybe you can see that some of this stuff is starting to come up. You can probably barely see that. So that's all you do. You go in the back and you trim using your seam ripper. Just go through here and start trimming these long stitches back here, which are your bobbin stitches. I'm going to just stitch them, pull them right out. All of these bobbin stitches. Not pull them out, I should say cut them. I'm going to cut them, which allows you to pull the other stitches to the front. So let's go on this side and see. Now on this head, I'm not going to do all of this, as I said, because I might have the tendency to move this and my final stitching won't work well. But as you can see, when I'm using my fingernail, I'll bring this up so you can see it a little clearer. You can see how he's starting to get fuzzy. See that fuzzy? Fuzzy wuzzy? So that's what's happening now. And you can take the seam ripper if you'd rather do that than your fingernails. Just don't rip anything on the front here. You're just kind of pulling it out so that it'll come out and be fuzzy. Okay, we're on the final step, which means we're going to take the other side, or the other fabric, the other faux leather, and place it right over top, and you can see where your box is. So you need to make sure that all of the box is totally covered. And then you can take some tape and tape this down into place so it doesn't move when you put it back on your machine. Then you're just going to, whoopsie daisy, stitch the final bit and then trim, take this out of your machine, pop it out of the hoop, and trim within about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch away from the last step. So let me stitch this and I'll meet you back here. Okay, the last step has been stitched. So now I can pop this out of my hoop and I can just start trimming around this. Now, as I said, I want to leave about 1/8 of an inch, maybe up to 1/4 of an inch, but 1/8 of an inch would probably be good, all the way around him, like that. And so just continue cutting this till I'm all done. I'm going to rough cut it a little bit just so I can get rid of some of this extra junk. Whoa, don't get too close. So, all right. So I'm just going to finish cutting this up now. And again, I'm just staying about 1/8 of an inch, between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch away from the stitches. Just using these big scissors because they work well. Just kind of following along. Oh, I got a little too close there because I'm trying to put this up so you can see it at the camera. Now, a little bit of my basting is still showing right here, so I can rip that out really easily. And now I have a few more jump stitches to get rid of, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the awl whoopsie, take the awl that came with my little set and poke it through the top hole. Okay, and just really poke it in there, and then bend this down like this and poke it through this second hole because there's stitching here, and I'll just poke it through this one again. Okay, because that is where my little snaps are going to go. And I think I'll make a separate video to show you how to put on the snaps, because this one's getting rather long. But there is our finished little guy, other than I need to put the snap on here and trim a few more jump stitches that I see. But isn't that adorable, you guys? I just think it's so cute. So thanks so much for joining me. Hey, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. That really helps me to get YouTube to put my videos out there so more people can watch them and learn from them, and I sure appreciate it. Also, check out the links down below. I'll have the link for this guy in there too in case you want to make it for an Easter gift. So thanks again, and here was my finished one from before. How adorable is that, right? Love it. Thanks. Bye for now.